and today we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to play a quick game, and by quick I mean probably not quick, a quick game of Stellaris by Paradox Development. These guys are just friggin' awesome. I love everything they touch. They are a fantastic development studio, and they're known for making gigantic grand strategy games. This is actually one of the least grand of their grand strategy games, but it's still fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game, and we're going to start by building ourselves, let's see here, a couple of empires that I built previously. We're going to build a new one from scratch. So let's take a look at this and figure out what kind we want. Now, there are, the space boars, space bats, I think. Not really sure what the hell that's supposed to be. The space rams, space foxes, space duck-billed platypus, space cat, space donkey horse. There's no space dog, and that kind of bums me out. But we'll figure something out. We have various different kinds of reptiles, space toads, space snapper turtles. No idea what the hell that's supposed to be. Space imps from Dungeons and Dragons? I don't know. We have various different bird types. There you go. It's a vulture of some kind, a bird of paradise maybe. Straight parrot. Space parrot, of course. Almost a hawk? I don't know. Anyway, arthropods, poids. It's hard to say poid as opposed to pod. Basically, space insects and crabs, and space lobster, and space salamanders, and space cockroaches, and literally a space crab, a space spider. And the molluscoids. These are space slugs and space, I don't know, that looks like a brain crab. This is a Cthulhuid, I think is what that should be called. The fungoids, these are literally, a glowing space mushroom dildo. And plants. Yes, plants. This is space head of cabbage, space cabbage. Space, I want to say tomato, but I think that's actually a radish, space radish. Nightshade, deadly nightshade. A bluebell, maybe? I'm not sure. Definitely space kale. Anyway, we're probably going to be mammals just because it's easiest to empathize with mammals. And we are going to be... I really actually like the idea of being like a space ram. Or a space boar. Or a space horse donkey. Shit. Is that supposed to be a space dog, maybe? Could be a space dog. Space monkey. Space monkey. Flying space monkey. Can we do one that is nothing but a play off of, what's the word I'm looking for? Or the phrase I'm looking for. A play off of The Wizard of Oz, maybe. Nothing but space flying monkeys? Or flying space monkeys? We'll be space boars. And our name will be the Gagassi. The adjective. Ooh, maybe Xenomini, Sacnor, that's hard to say. Valon. Just cans. No, Quipulci? Quipulci? Quipulci, Quipulcians, Quipulcian. I'm okay with that. The ship prefix. Now, wow, this is recording a ton of data. they will be obviously mammalian. Let's take a look through these. So I almost like this one just because it looks like it says cognac. Are we going to be Soviet Space Boars? Yes, Soviet or Roman Space Boars. Ooh, I almost like sequential name. Numerius Mathos Flavius Constantinus Flavius. I like the Soviet though. I can't pronounce half of these, but Alina Kovansky, Vasily Stepanov, Olga Nikolaev. I like the Soviet names. We're gonna be Soviets, which means we will be. Let's see. The Soviets are industrious. They are solitary, excuse me, and not decadent. Not deviant, not repugnant. Come on, I have a point left. Strong. They are strong, industrious, and solitary. Let's see. They will be. Leaders will be female. And they will be. Ooh, there we go. In a white boar in armor. Maybe a red boar in armor. Alina Kapustin, but the president, the title will change once we change our type of government. I feel like Arctic world or tundra. I feel like if we're gonna be Russian boars, we really need to be on a tundra world. Now, they are going to be collectivists, strengthen the collective, and they will also be militarists. Excuse me. And that gives us the ability to have a military dictatorship, which isn't exactly what we had with Soviet Russia. Not pacifists, not materialists, not individualists, not xenophobes. How about that? Ooh, there we go. A military junta. That, I mean, it's not quite right, but it's maybe closer than some of the other things. It's not a theocratic oligarchy. It's not a despotic hegemony. It's not a divine mandate. It's certainly not an enlightened monarchy. Not a military republic. Yeah, I think we're going to go with either a dictatorship. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, I think it needs to be a military dictatorship. And I think we're going to be fanatic collectivists and slightly militaristic. There we go. It's either that or an entirely just straight up despotic empire. But I think we're going to go with the dictatorship, and we will call ourselves... Oh, a home planet name is required. Soviet Boaristan. Ha. Oh man. I like that play on words. We need to remake our ruler. It will be a male, and his name will be Boris Yeltsin? I need a last name. Give me a last name. Come on. Tyomkin. There we go. Boris Tyomkin. Boris. Haha. There we go. Grand Marshal Boris. And, nope, we are going to be the the gosh, Soviet Boaristan. Boaristani Republic. And the adjective will be Boaristani. There we go. And we are going to be... That's not bad. It's not... Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, it'll be the fist. And our primary colors... Let's see... It almost has to be red. And what, yellow? Maybe the primary color should be yellow. The secondary color should be red. No, that's almost Japanese looking. Can we go the other way with that? You know... That kind of works. And then... Except that the primary color really needs to be the red. Alright, and the secondary color should be dark green. And that way, we can have the Red Menace in space. Yes. Yes. And we are going to use guns. Just big fucking guns. And we are going to use, let's see, warp travel, where you can go from basically anywhere to anywhere else. Gosh, I'm doing a terrible job explaining what's going on, aren't I? Wow, this is a gigabyte a minute to record this. This is astonishing. Anyway, so now that we've designed all of the things about our government, we have to pick what kind of technology we have. So, like I said, we're starting with projectile weapons, because space Russian boars, or Soviet, excuse me, not Russian, Soviet. The Soviet boars use projectile weapons. They use guns and rifles and shit. Now we can pick what kind of star drive we have. There's warp travel, where you can go in between any two points, but there's a really long warm-up and cool-down period, sort of like warp in Star Trek, but with longer warm-ups and cool-downs. Then there's hyperspace travel, which is, you know, jumping from system to system using, they call them, I think, hyperlanes. But you basically have to go through all of the systems between one star and another to get to it. But it's super fast, it's super simple, and it's really, really hard to block. And then there's wormhole travel, which is sort of a mix of the two, where it warms up relatively quickly. There isn't a whole lot of cooldown when you get out of hyperspace, or when you complete your jump. But when you get there, or you can only jump into a system that has a wormhole generator. Excuse me, how do I want to say this? It has to be within a range of a wormhole generator to get there, and you always jump from one location to the wormhole generator, and then from the wormhole generator to the place you're trying to go. When I think of my space Russian Boaristans, Boris from Boaristan, I think that Soviet space travel would really be like this hyperspace travel, where it's very simple and straightforward and direct. I'm not seeing them do, you know, like warp travel in real life where there's options. That doesn't strike me as the way they would play. So we'll do hyperspace travel. And they're ships. Now, we want to pick the ships that look the most giant. Fungoids look pretty big, I think, and so do the arthropod ships, actually. And I've got mods installed to give me extra colors, so And then plantoid. Plantoids actually look like plants. Mollusk, fungoid. I think they use fungoid ships. I think. There you go. Silver, gold, dark purple. No, they're gonna use red. They're gonna use red fungoid ships, right? Let me take a look at that color, because I think the red should be darker, maybe. There we go. There we go. And then the red fungoid ships. And here we go. We have the Soviet Boaristani Republic. It's a military dictatorship. They are fanatic Soviets, and they are a little bit militaristic. They are industrious. They are a little bit solitary. You know, they come home from their long day of, you know, breaking rocks at the factory, and they really just want to drink alone, you know? And they are strong. We need to rename the race. Species name is going to be Boaristanis. The plural is Boaristani. Name Boaristani, plural. 2 Boaristani, single Boaristani. Yeah, and then the adjective is Boaristanian. There we go. Alright, and we'll just next through all this junk. There we go. They use guns, they do hyperspace, and their ships are big and bulky. Save, because I like the Soviet Boaristani Republic. We're going to hit done, and let's take a look at the universe real quick. We're going to run... Do we want to run... small isn't even small, that's the thing. Tiny is a little bit tiny. Up to 1,000 stars. 1,000 stars. But we're not going to run 1,000 stars because I'm running this on a MacBook. And we're going to run this in a ring galaxy. Just because I can. Now there's going to be 17 other AI empires. And 4 of them are going to start off significantly better off than we are. We're going to allow any kind of FTL method. And I always play my games in Iron Man mode. So now you know. If I make a mistake... Can't go back. Can't unfuck it. So let's go ahead and hit play. Let's start this and let's see what goes down. Alright. Game is paused. In the eons since the first primitive Boaristani communities took shape on the windy plains of Soviet Boaristan, our civilization has spread and prospered. Countless nation-states formed as we advanced through the technological ages, warring against each other until only one remained. Although the fighting was often brutal, those who survived nurtured a martial tradition that has prevailed to this day. That's right. Now, after the discovery of the hyperlane network, the finest minds of Soviet Boaristani Republic have finished development of the first hyperdrives. The stars themselves are finally within our red Soviet grasp. Begin! Alright. Let's take a look at this universe. That is a brilliant red color. Yes. That is a hell of a galaxy. We're going to have lots of fun here. And you'll see there are the little hyperlanes, the lines connecting everything. Now, if we had picked one of the other types of warp, we wouldn't be able to see those. We would instead see a ring showing where we could and couldn't warp to and from. And we are in Ugol Omamak. Lies within the Soviet Boaristani Republic. Alright, now let's take a look at our research options, because that's going to be important. Better sensors is never a bad thing. It's good to know when people are coming. And then solar panels, because energy actually counts as a sort of money in this game. Both of these are good. Now, the research system in this game is weird. And when I say weird, what I mean is weird. There are 3 different types of research. There is physics, societal, and engineering. And each of your researchers will randomly draw 3 types of technology out of a deck of cards. Then you get to pick from them. After I finish researching gravitic sensors, I don't necessarily know that I'm going to have solar panels next time. Now let's take a look at Mary Turov. Capacity colony ship. We're going to need those. Then Natalia Pavlov. has coil guns and ion thrusters. Ooh, I want both the guns and the better thrusters. But I want the guns more. Alright, so let's take a look at our planet real quick. If we take a look at the surface of our planet, we can see that there's some industrial wastelands, some sprawling slums. That all seems reasonable. These are things I would expect to see here. We're going to build a farm because our people will need food. And this is actually our planetary administration center, so there are adjacency bonuses to that for the output of things. And this is a really strong start, actually. Let's see, so I've got a construction ship, but I can't do anything with it. I don't know where I'm going to build stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is go back into our solar system, and we're going to survey everything. Now, you can do this by right-clicking on stuff. But I don't want to just, individually like right-click on it and survey. So instead I'm going to click on the star, right-click on the star, and I'm going to survey the entire system. And our guy's going to go off and do it. And now let's take a look at our starter fleet. The first Cosmofleet of our... Oh man, those are so Soviet. Those are so Soviet. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me that you look at that and you don't see old Soviet, like, space capsules and, rockets, and I love it. Alright, so now we can go ahead and rotate our view back up, unpause the game, and let's get this party started. Our first Cosmoflot does not have a leader, and we probably don't need one for now. While we're waiting for things to happen, let's quickly go over... actually, I'm going to send my guys... So the green thing here means that there's a planet here that I can colonize, and that's really close to home. So I'm just going to make sure there are no bad guys in here. Nothing I need to fight. That's good. Nothing that I need to fight there. We'll do a little bit... Oh, there we go. First contact. We roamed the stars for eons before your hapless... Oh, it's a stagnant ascendancy. Jesus. Haven't even described how that works yet. A stagnant ascendancy is a old, ancient empire that peaked and then collapsed back in on itself. So they are significantly more powerful than anyone else. And they all have something that pisses them off. Now these guys are militant isolationists. So I'm guessing the thing that will piss them off is me getting close to them. Which means whatever direction they are from me, I'll be expanding the other direction, regardless of what happens. So if any of your wretched little ships cross into our space, do not expect them to return from Theklak Shard. Nice. Our warriors salute you. Okay. And the first intelligent life we met, we must be wary. You're damn right we must. There we go. That is a fallen empire, which means everything we do is going to be in this direction for quite some time. We have our backs against the wall. That may end up fucking us, but we'll see. We have time. We have things that we can, fuck around with and look at, including Plov, and then Beliatrix, and we're just gonna, quickly take a look around our local cluster. I'm sure there will be other aliens that we will find, and then we will decide how we want to kill them. But for now, here we go. Wow. That might not be a good thing for this recording, for this playthrough. But we'll see. At the very least, once that science ship is done, we're going to have him survey that next system. Yeah, our back is really against the wall with this. There is not much we can do. We do not want to get too close to them. In fact, we started close enough that our borders We may just get killed in a couple of turns. Ooh, and another habitable planet. That is actually kind of tempting, you know? Let's see, and our science ship is still sciencing, still surveying things. So if you look at my home system here, you'll see that there's now a little diamond and a little lightning bolt. And what that means is that there are planets here. Complete. Oh, you shut your pie hole. I'm going to pause real quick. So what this means is that there are planets with resources, and I can set up mines on them. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, actually. So I want to build a mining station there, and a mining station right there. There we go. And I could probably do more later, but for now... Anomaly found. Oh, and we'll go ahead and research that anomaly. Don't even see what it was, but it was a 30% chance to not fuck up, and here's hoping that we don't fuck up. Interestingly, I don't see... I'm used to seeing other, like, wildlife in the area, and I'm not seeing any, which is quite a surprise. It's very weird. Man, I hope you guys are going to be able to read the stuff on this, because I just realized, so I'm playing this on a Retina display, so it's like 3000 by, I don't know, 2000 or something. Oh, the magnetic field is complete reversal of what was being observed by Eugene Debs. This rare event has interchanged the positions of the moon's magnetic poles. It was all recorded, giving us a ton. Ooh, wow, that is a lot of physics research data. All right, and we gained a level for Vyacheslav Rodin. Nice. Who was commanding the Eugene Debs, which is the ship. Golly. That's actually a ton of physics. So you can store physics points, and it will sort of hand them out over time to speed up research. So that's a good thing. Now, let's see. We have no elections ever, because seriously, fuck that shit. Our naval capacity is a whopping 13, of which we have 3 ships. Our budgeting looks largely fine, actually. We have energy coming in, and some of it's going out for maintenance, but that's fine. Mikhail has completed the construction of a mining station. And a comet sighted. They are... What? Comet streaks across the sky of Soviet Boaristan. The appearance of a lonely stellar object caused seemingly disproportionate distress, and Boaristani turned to Boaristani for assurance that they are not alone. They are convinced that this is a sign of coming isolation and splintering of Boaristanian society. Great. Fucking comets. What is it with Paradox Games and comets? Policies. I have System unrestricted wars. Alright, fully surveyed. Oh, nice. I can actually add another. You can see now there's 4 energy lightning bolts there. And actually, science ship, once you're done there, I'd like you to also survey that one. What were we looking at? We were looking through the Empire screen at stuff. So, you have different policies you can apply, right? So, because we are militant, unrestricted wars. We can fight for whatever the hell we want. And no one gives a shit. In fact, it makes our guys happy. Slavery is allowed, although we're probably not going to do it a whole lot. Actually, our entire society is sort of slavery-based. Procreation of slaves. Purges. Are we allowed to do purges? Yes, we can. Purge is basically genocide, and we can do genocide wherever we want. Orbital bombardment, full. Remember, we are Soviet. You can just bomb the shit out of things. Migration. This is we're probably gonna do primary species only because we want it to be class-based eventually. Resettlement is allowed. Yes, we can tell them to move and they will do it. Voting rights, elitism, only the leaders can vote. Leadership is primary species only, and our first contact protocol is aggressive. That's right. You're in my space, fuck you. We also have edicts that we can apply that give us bonuses, but cost us some of our influence. Influence is very hard to get, and we won't be spending it very often. But this will give us more research speed for society, or physics, or engineering, or encouraging free thought, which makes everyone, you know, the research is faster, but there's an ethics divergence, which we can talk about later. And then an information quarantine, which is also a good one. It does the exact opposite, but again, it costs influence, and I don't want to spend any. Excuse me. Now we can look at our population. We have 8 population. That is the actual little boar pictures on our planet on the surface here. And you can see we have Boaristan. Gosh, can I clear that up? Yes, I can. I'm going to clear that up. And once that's clear, I'm going to put a power plant down. But anyway, we were talking about our demographics. Basically, we are industrious, solitary, strong, with a preference for tundra planets. And you'll see that that changes over time. And this is to tell us that our mining station is complete. There we go. Now we're going to have our construction ship build mines over here.
System survey complete.
There we go. And now our science ship is going to jump to Sarpakis. Sarpakis. Yep, Sarpakis. Sarpakis? Look how pretty that is. And you can see our ship over there doing shippy things. Scanning the planet. Sarpakis 3. Ooh. Alright. Come on. My right-click skills are weak today. There we go.
Anomaly found.
Oh, let's go ahead and research that anomaly. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting playthrough. I make no promises about my ability to survive the fact that I am wrapped in... what did I just click on? I mean, we're so close to this fallen empire, and they are... Like, I'm not trying to be, you know, alarmist, but they will whoop our asses handily. Let's send our Cosmo fleet back. We'll have them go to here, and then to here, and then to here. Primitive design, let's see, a solar sail ship. Nice, more engineering research. So again, I'm just trying to see if there's anything here worth knowing about. See who's going to try to stand in our way. And while that happens, we'll go back to our core system, and we have mines on everything. That's good. Now, once some of my research finishes up, and there isn't too much, there's a lot of time left, go ahead and speed up just a bit. Oh, and a ship is doing a thing, or done doing a thing. Crossroads, Nebula. Ooh, and there's another potentially habitable planet. The problem is that they're all right along the border with this friggin' fallen empire. I really don't want to fuck with them. Let's see. That is about a half hour. We'll let this ship go out and do its thing. We'll finish up our colony ship research, and then we will probably
updated.
Aliens, the beta aliens. The beta aliens are actually what? They are crystalline entities. Eating, I think, from that giant neutron star, or pulsar. That is fantastically pretty, actually. But they can fuck my fleet up pretty hardcore, so hope they're smart enough. And Pollux with gamma aliens. That appears to actually be a real race of aliens, I suspect. We'll find out in a moment. Yeah, that looks like an alien space station. How? You know what? We should research them. So we'll pull out our situation log. These are the gamma aliens. We'll research those. It'll take 180 days. Hopefully we'll be able to use... No, we're out of stored research. Okay. Ooh, a black hole. Baden's domain.
Situation log updated.
Delta aliens. Oh, what are these? Oh man, are these... Yep. There's a lot of stuff out here that I'm gonna have to fight with. A lot of bad stuff. Oh! Nice. Two habitable worlds. Kinda wish we had picked a different system of jump.
Research complete.
Alright. Gravitic sensors are done. Let's see. The next thing I want is fusion power. We will largely ignore shields and use armor. Why do something the expensive way when you can do it the not expensive way? Alright, and we've got some research going on. Fully surveyed down here. Let's go ahead and tell our science ship that it is time to build me some things. Can I... Oh, it's not actually in my... the range of my... Well, that's irritating. It's not actually inside my territory. So we're going to go ahead and survey this system, and this system, and this system. And while that's going on, we'll grab our fleet here and see how they're doing. So we've got one, possibly two empires out here that we're butted right up against. And then, of course, there'll be more all the way around the ring. Remember, there are 18 of them. And, oh.
Special project complete.
Shit. Hostile fleet present. Successfully translating their language with the Hajam state. Alright, they are a indirect democracy of Federation builders. And we have nothing in common. Okay. Greetings from the Hajam state. Democratic nation, freedom of citizens. We will be going to war with them, almost certainly. They are... Wow, they're already colonizing. They have... Oh yeah, because they got a head start on me. Those fuckers. Damn it. Alright, well, come on back. Well...
Situation log updated.
Faster than light travel, Soviet Boaristan, dispatch. Data could potentially be used against us. We need to track down these probes. That is an interesting quest line. So, back before we were spaceflight capable, we did the Voyager program, or the... Gosh, did the Soviets do a Voyager program? Anyway. And on the probe, we had a little gold disc that showed where we were. And now we want those back. So let's go ahead and jump out here. We'll grab this fleet. We'll have them return home. There's no route. Oh man, now that we know that they exist, we can't get our fleet back. Well, shit. Okay, then I guess it's time to go on a merry little chase. And we'll just go everywhere. Eventually, they will make it all the way around the galaxy. Since they're never coming home, they will at least get us valuable intel. Alright, and restart time. Come on, research. I really need some, and I've got 3 worlds right here, and I can take those 3. But I really need to find more, basically. I am really sandwiched between these 2 guys. And I don't see that ending well for me. I'm gonna need more than 3 worlds, obviously. Let's actually do some. Let's see. I can go ahead and I can't build those. Am I too? Do I not have enough money, or are they just not in my
Situation log updated.
We've encountered more aliens. Okay. Epsilon aliens. Let's see, how far are those? Over here. You know what? We're gonna have our Cosmo fleet. We'll just plot out a giant course all the way around. They will almost certainly killed before they make it this far around, but since I can't get them back home, they can at least commit glorious suicide in the name of the Boar Public of Fatherland. Alright. Or no, Mother Russia. That's right. Soviet Boaristan. Let's see, I cleared that off so I could build myself a power plant. And I still want me that power plant, so get building. I'll unpause the game, zoom back out, and they'll either make it out or they won't. And it's really hard for me to care about them at this point. So, hostile fleet. Cool. We'll see what happens. It's of course entirely possible that I'm missing stuff. You know, I'm not really going out of my way to search underneath every rock for alien species. I've got enough shit to worry about on my own right now. Let's see. This is not in my. This is. Is there anything in Plav worth looking at? Wow. I may have to abort this. But we're quickly coming up on 45 minutes. And let's see. Yeah, okay, they're making it out. They're making it through. Right.
System survey complete. Anomaly found.
Colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with the surface.
Updated.
Interesting. Alright. So my science ship is checking out the surface of the planet in Plav. And this will eventually make it into my my area. And then I'll be good to go. I almost think I need another science ship. So, do I have any? No, no modules. Do I want to build that, or do I want to build some corvettes? Now I can build a special corvette that is much, much larger than any of my other ones. Named after me.
Situation log updated.
The Edda aliens.
Construction complete.
Soviet Boaristan has built me my reactor facility. All right, lots of aliens all through here. Edda aliens. Let's see, how is our research doing? Colony ship is in 20 months. Let's see. Mineral-rich asteroid crashed into Plav 7, which increased its mineral worth by a significant portion. So let's go ahead and just start building mining stations. Because, yes, please give me that sweet, sweet minerals. God. The Olix are gonna fuck us. And then, wait. This is... Eugene Debs has picked up a signal from our missing sublight probes. That's interesting. Someone has towed the probe there.
Situation log updated.
This is... What is that? This isn't a planet of theirs, is it?
Situation log updated.
Theta aliens. You know what? Maybe we can just ask them for border access. Let's try that. Offer a migration treaty. I can't do that because I'm a Soviet. I want open borders. Close the borders. Not very popular. I guess they're not. They view us as a target. But we'll worry about that in a minute. Because I'm sure that they are significantly more powerful than we are. Yeah, they are superior. Their technology level is superior, and they're otherwise equivalent to us. And then this is that fallen empire, where they are overwhelmingly more powerful than us in all ways. Why do you dislike us so much? New contact, because we allow purging, and because we are tyrants. Well, tough. It's a pretty universe, I gotta say. Oh, my scientist is just friggin' kicking ass. But we're not really accomplishing much. We're just sort of, you know, waiting. I need my colony research to finish up, but it will be done soon, and then I can start colonizing things, and then things will start taking off. So 12 months on the colony ship, 23 months on a coil gun, and 20 months on my fusion reactor. Man. What have I got going on in Soviet Boaristan here? Let's take a look at the surface. You know what? There's some science to be had here, so we're going to go ahead and build a basic lab. And this should be a mine. There should be a mine here. So let's build not a mineral silo. No, I want a mining network. There we go. And this one can be either money or energy, but I need energy more than I need money right now. And typically it's harder to get money than energy.
Situation log updated.
Alright, the Iota aliens. I don't think I've ever encountered that many in one go. That's kind of funny. Alright. Of course, I've got the time cranked up as high as I can get it to go. There we go. Ooh, there's a lot to get in this joint. Let's build the mining stations, and then let's build those research stations. And then we can come back to here, and we can not build mining stations because it's not inside our borders yet. Just because it looks like it is doesn't mean it is. It would actually say it. See? Lies within the Soviet Boaristani Republic space. Wow, those 3 Corvettes have really made it quite far. This is another empire of some form. The funny thing is, I wouldn't have been able to scout like this if I had used at least one of the other
situation log updated.
There we go, Kappa aliens. If we had used the other method of travel, of hyperspace, or whatever you want to call it. So things are slowly moving along. This is an interesting start. I guess before we go, let's take a look at the ship construction. There's not a whole lot to do in here right now because I don't have a whole lot of parts yet. But ships, that's right. So I can make, for example, a ship that has 1 small weapon slot, 1 medium weapon slot, 3 small weapon slots, or 1 small weapon slot, but with 2 medium utilities for shields, for example. And for now, I'm going to do the 3 small weapon slots, and we only have the mass driver, so it's not, going to be anything special. I don't have a whole lot of options, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. I'll stick that in here. Well, that is probably the same thing as the other Corvettes that I've got out there doing things now. What does our timeline look like? 4 months to go. And we are surrounded by a gigantic fallen empire that hates me. Well, they're dismissive, but they don't hate me. And then we have an indirect democracy that is between us and the rest of the galaxy, and it hates us. So we're going to be making a quick effort to subjugate the Hejim state. That will be our highest priority. The good news is that the Hejim state will actually protect us from a lot of the other shit that we would want to kill. Oh, forced to return to Targan because it is within the borders of the primacy. That is another fallen empire that we can't fuck with. Respect our holy places, and they may not kill us. Okay, let's... our warriors are superior collective. Alright, let's go ahead and... At least one of our fleets has gone missing in action. Oh wow, it's completely cut off from us, and so it got returned? Is that how that worked? Yeah, there's the other fallen empire. So they're almost directly opposed to each other. And that is the mining station that is done being built. Okay, actually, let's pause this real quick.
Research complete.
Oh, research complete. That will be my colony ship. Thank goodness. Let's pick our next... Oh, border range. We're going to want that. Alright, so we're going to stop this here. But before we do, let's take a look at what's available to us for options. Option number 1, actually, is just start a different game of this. We have a couple of planets here that we can colonize really quickly. We have Geronith, which this is Geronith 1, which is actually a pretty good planet, size 17. We have Sepakis 3, which is a decent planet, size 16. We have a ton of resources available to us. The biggest thing we're going to have to worry about is not pissing off the Theklock Shard. That said, with these 3 planets, we will probably not be able to overwhelm the Pulkar. What we can do, though, is we can actually go to war and force them to allow us through their borders. And of course, we haven't really looked down this way to see what's available, but if we have worlds down here that are tundra worlds, we could stand to have maybe 4 or 5 worlds, and with that kind of territory, we should be able to put these guys out of their misery as long as they don't expand out this way too far. And that's what we're going to have to worry about, is them aggressively expanding out clockwise around the ring before we have a chance to expand all the way down to the inner side of the ring and then converge on them. So I will say that they have one of these. These black holes are usually good for a ton of science. So we're going to try to get that too. It'll be hard to make our way through there, but that's going to be our plan. Let's see. No access. No access. Oh, Hawaz. Yeah, I have some surveying to do. I have some fleets to build, and we have a little bit of sneaky things that we're going to have to go through and do. to take over the Hijam state. The Hijam, it's not collective. These fuckers. So anyway, I am going to end this here. We're right at 55 minutes, and that's good enough. We've got ourselves a colony ship. We have a tiny little Boaristani Soviet Republic, and now let's see if we can wrap our iron curtain around these Hijam, whatever the hell they are, and make them feel the love of Soviet Boaristan. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch you guys later.